Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Brian Goodell. Welcome to our annual Veterans Day ceremony. This year, our observation takes place on Veterans Plaza, the site of Mission Viejo's Veterans Memorial. This memorial was dedicated on Veterans Day 1995 as a tribute to the courage and sacrifice of our veterans in modern-day conflicts. Thank you for joining us today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Chaplain Charles Ferguson from our adopted Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division, who will give the invocation. He will be followed by the battalion's color guard and our national anthem sung by Aaron Theodoricus. Didn't say that right. Chaplain?
Let us pray. Eternal Father, strong to save, today we remember 105 years ago when at 11 a.m. the guns fell silent and the hope of an end to all wars shone bright across the globe. We pray for all those who serve their country to keep the flame of freedom lit around the world. Embrace our brothers and sisters who did not come home as we pause to reflect on their service. While countries still clash and brave men and women engage on the battlefield, we pray these precious few moments bolster our faith that one day we shall live in a world where the guns are forever silent. Guide us as we fight for justice and freedom for everyone, especially those with little or no means to stand up for their own freedom. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Today we are gathered to honor those who honored our country with its highest form of service. You who once wore the uniform of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, we owe you our thanks, our profound respect, and we owe you our freedom. We're all here to express our immense gratitude for the sacrifices and contributions you and your family made on the battlefield, at home, and at outposts around the world. But today, I want you to know that our gratitude to all of you is always grounded in something greater than what you did on duty. It's also an appreciation of the example that you continue to set after your service, for example, as fine citizens of our community. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this day and every day, we thank you for your service, sacrifice, and resolve. How about a hand for our service people? I'd like to take a moment for some introductions. On stage with us we have today U.S. Congresswoman Young Kim, 40th Congressional District. And my council colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Trish Kelly, Council Member Wendy Bucknam, Council Member Bob Reish, and Council Member Cynthia Vasquez. We also have Colonel Matthew Lundgren, Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. And Chaplain Charles Ferguson, Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. Thank you. Thank you for a moving prayer today. We also have Jessica Foat, United States Army retired, with us today. And of course, our talented performer, Aaron Theodorakis. I said it right this time. Sorry about the Dorcas. At this time, I'd like to also invite Congresswoman Young Kim to the podium for a few remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. Residents of City of Mission Viejo, thank you very much for coming out to honor our veterans. I represent you in the California's 40th Congressional District. It's a privilege and honor to do so. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve you. I'm a wife, also a sister of Army veterans, who collectively, my family members, served for over close to 65, 70 years together. And this was our way of giving back to this country that have welcomed my family and my distant relatives into this country so we can live in the land of the free and live the American dream. That would not be possible if it weren't for the veterans who served. We have so many veterans that served in different conflict areas, but as a daughter of South Korea, I came here almost 5 decades ago as a young girl, and I would not be here if it weren't for the sacrifices for the veterans who came to a country they never knew to protect the people and give us the liberty and freedom for the people that you didn't meet until you were called to serve and answered the call to come to that country. And today I stand before you as a proud American and your representative in Congress. So I want to thank the veterans who are here. I want to thank the City of Mission Viejo for having this platform for someone like me to come and say thank you. Not only the veterans who made the sacrifices, but the family also went through a very challenging times, not knowing whether or not your loved ones will be back after the conflict is over or when their service is over. So I understand, as a wife and sister of U.S. veterans, when I say thank you for your sacrifice, it really is personal to me. So I want to thank you. Those who served World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, Afghanistan, everywhere you were asked to come and serve, you did. So thank you very much for doing it. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to serve you. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Bob Reich.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce you to the commanding officer of our city's adopted headquarters battalion, 1st Marine Division from Camp Pendleton, Colonel Matthew Lundgren. Colonel Lundgren enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve in 1994 and served as a rifleman in the 4th Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. He graduated from the University of Maryland in 1999 and was commissioned through the Platoon Leaders Class program. After training, he reported to the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, where he served as a platoon commander and assistant operations officer. This included a deployment with the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Colonel Lundgren's contributions to our country are countless. He served as a weapons company commander and operations officer of the 3rd Battalion, 2nd Marines from 2007 to 2010, which included deployments with Operation Iraqi Freedom. He also served as the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit and participated in Operation United Response after the earthquake in Haiti. He was commanding officer of a battalion landing team, 1st Battalion, 4th Marines from 2016 to 2017, and deployed with the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit and participated in Operation Inherent Resolve in Syria. Outside of operating forces, Colonel Lundgren served as Assistant Logistics Officer, Platoon Commander, Assistance Operation Officer, and Company Commander at Marine Barracks, Washington from 2003 to 2006. From 2011 to 2013, he served as an instructor and facility advisor from the Expeditionary Warfare School. From 2014 to 2016, he was operations officer at the Marine Corps Tactics and Operation Group. And from 2020 to 2022, he served in the Office of Undersecretary of Defense for Policy and Senior Marine Advisor for Force Development, and as a member of the 2022 National Defense Strategic Corps Development Team. Colonel Lundgren is a graduate of the Marine Corps Summer Mountaineer Leaders Program, Amphibious Warfare School, excuse me. It was very ambitious. I think that's quite clear at this point. Expeditionary Warfare School, Marine Corps Command and Staff College, Marine Corps School of Advanced Warfighting, and the Army's War College. He is currently a public policy PhD student at George Mason's School for Policy and Government and is a member of the Commandant of Marine Corps Strategic Program. May I introduce Colonel Lundgren.
Good afternoon, Congresswoman Kim, Mayor Goodell, Mayor Pro Tem Kelly, Council members Bucknam, Roche, and Vasquez, and Mr. Wilberg. Thank you for inviting me here today. It's always a great pleasure to be here in Mission Viejo, especially on Veterans Day. The city's patriotism and devotion to those who serve, both past and present, is inspiring. The caring, compassion, and generosity of this community towards veterans are tangible demonstrations of the ties that bind us together as a nation. They serve not only as reminders to Americans of the value that we place on service, but also as a warning to our adversaries that no matter what they may see on the news, there is an unbreakable unity in this country that is the bedrock of our strength. And it is from this immense source of strength that we as a nation stand ready to meet any challenge. Today is a celebration of the service and selflessness that veterans have displayed throughout history by committing themselves to something larger. And while our journeys into uniform began for different reasons and lasted for different lengths, We share an experience that bonds us together. Whether we served at home or abroad, on the sea, air, or land, our time and service has taught us things that we will never forget. These lessons, both joyous and painful, have shaped who we are. We also have an obligation to these experiences, to carry them with us, both good and bad. So let us remember today our obligation to what we have learned. We have learned that we go farther together. From the beginning of our time in uniform, we stood shoulder to shoulder with our brothers and sisters. We could look around and see the rest of our crew manning the rails as we pulled into a foreign port. The crisp perfection of our uniforms and the awesome might of what it represented showed us what we were a part of. With every challenge and seemingly impossible mission, the one thing that always carried the day was the way that we worked together in the pursuit of a goal. We must continue to carry this spirit as a community of veterans, helping each other and our fellow citizens whenever the need arises. We learn that no matter what we have been told before, everything we need to overcome what life puts in our way rests inside of us. There's a quote from a letter that a Marine wrote to his mother while he was going through the 6 weeks of boot camp before heading off to World War I. He wrote, "For the first 2 weeks, I thought I was going to die. For the second 2 weeks, I wished I was going to die. And for the last 2 weeks, I believed I would live forever." We should never forget the revelation of our accomplishments. Regardless of what we did before or after we entered service, we proved most importantly to ourselves that we had the grit and tenacity to push through adversity. We learned that our time in this world is short, so we must pass on what we know to the next generation. In both peace and war, we witness firsthand the risks inherent to our profession. We realize that tomorrow is not guaranteed to us, and that all that really remains when we are gone is the impact we have had on others. We remember the way that our drill instructor molded us. We remember the way that our NCOs shaped us. And we remember the impact that we tried to have on others as we passed on what we have learned to those who followed in our footsteps. We learned that America is a special place that is worth defending. Our travels around the world showed us that no matter how much farther we have to go as a nation, our collective values of freedom, opportunity, and justice for all serve as examples for others across the globe of what to aspire to. Serving shoulder to shoulder with men and women from across the nation showed us the power of the diversity of the American experience. Rich or poor, city or country, West Coast, Deep South, Midwest, or mountain, we met a wide swath of our fellow citizens and learned and grew from each of them. These values and qualities, in their size and shape, are unique to America and worth defending. Our national experiment is not a foregone conclusion and requires our attention today just as much as it did on our first day in uniform. So as veterans, let us remember these lessons today. Let us remember just how much we can accomplish together. Let us remember the strength that resides in our hearts. Let us remember to pass on what we have learned. And let us remember what a special place America truly is. May God bless you and every one of our soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardmen, and Guardians, past and present, who answered our nation's call to duty. And may God bless the United States of America, which has always been and forever will be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing your talents with us again. And thank you to Colonel Lundgren for your leadership and your commitment to our nation. We appreciate your service. It's now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Jessica Foat, United States Army, retired. Jessica's military journey began in 2009 when she enlisted in the United States Army, embarking on a path marked by dedication and excellence. Rising to the rank of sergeant, Jessica's military occupational specialty was 74 Delta, which is a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear specialist. Her commitment to excellence was evident early on as she graduated in the top 10% of her basic training class. Jessica was deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, where she utilized her leadership to ensure the mission's success. Her outstanding contributions earned her the prestigious Army Achievement Medal. Jessica's military experience underscores her exceptional leadership and discipline, and these are qualities that she continues to use today and continue to drive her. Currently, Jessica is the Director of Education and Outreach for Mobile Operations at Be Well OC. This is an organization dedicated to making compassionate mental health care more accessible for our community. Jessica's dedication and accomplishments earned her recognition as a 40 under 40 honoree by the Greater Irvine Chamber. Jessica is a dynamic leader who serves as the Women Veteran Working Group Chair at the Orange County Veteran and Military Family Collaborative. She also chairs the advisory board at the Hecht Trauma Institute, which is a nonprofit dedicated to providing mental health education and support for veterans and first responders. In addition, she plays a vital role as a leadership committee member in the Orange County Health Care Agency's Community Suicide Prevention Initiative. Indeed, Jessica is dedicated to improving the well-being of individuals and our community, and we appreciate your work, Jessica. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jessica Foat.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow veterans, and honored civilians, it brings me great joy to witness our community coming together to pay tribute to the selfless military personnel who serve and have served our country. Today, I stand before you as a proud female veteran of the United States Army, eager to share my perspective on two essential values that have shaped my military journey: sacrifice and personal integrity. These values are at the core of what it means to serve in the armed forces and are as relevant today as they have ever been. When I reflect on my time in the Army, sacrifice is a word that immediately comes to mind. The armed forces demand a level of commitment and selflessness that is truly unparalleled. It's about putting the needs of our nation and our fellow soldiers ahead of our own. Sacrifice is not merely a concept, it is a way of life for us. Sacrifice takes many forms in the military. For some, it's leaving behind their families and loved ones to deploy to distant and often dangerous places. For others, it's enduring grueling training and long hours in service to a higher purpose. And for all of us, it's the understanding that our lives may be called upon to defend our country, even at the risk of our own. Sacrifice is not always about the grand, heroic gestures we see in movies or read about in history books. It can be found in the everyday acts of kindness and support that soldiers provide to one another. It's the helping hand extended to a fellow soldier in need, the extra hours spent in training, or the commitment to uphold the values of our nation. It's about the dedication to something bigger than ourselves, a fundamental aspect of military life. But the true beauty of sacrifice in the armed forces lies in the fact that it transcends gender, race, and background. Regardless of who you are or where you come from, the commitment to sacrifice for our nation unites us all. As a female soldier, I can attest that gender has no bearing on one's willingness to make sacrifices. We all stand side by side, committed to a common cause, ready to give our all. Let us not forget the sacrifices that extend beyond our time in uniform. Many veterans, both male and female, continue to make sacrifices as they transition to civilian life. They face challenges like reintegration into society, finding meaningful employment, and coping with the physical and emotional toll of their service. It is our duty as a society to support and honor these sacrifices. We must ensure that our veterans receive the care and the respect that they deserve. Now, personal integrity. It's another value deeply ingrained in military life. It is about doing what is right even when no one is watching. It's about maintaining honesty, honor, and a steadfast commitment to our values, regardless of the circumstances. Personal integrity goes hand in hand with sacrifice, as it ensures that our sacrifices are guided by the principles we hold dear. It is about remaining true to our core values, even when the path is difficult and the choices are challenging. In the armed forces, personal integrity is not just a guideline, it is a code we live by. This commitment to personal integrity is exemplified in every aspect of our service. From the smallest daily tasks to the most significant decisions, right in the heat of battle, our integrity guides us. As a female soldier, I have seen firsthand how important it is to stand up for what is right, to hold ourselves and our peers accountable, and to be unwavering in our dedication to our values. These values, sacrifice and personal integrity, are not just abstract concepts. They are principles that have profound impact on the lives of service members and the communities they serve. They are the foundation upon which the armed forces are built, ensuring that we uphold the highest standards in the face of adversity. But let me be clear. Sacrifice and personal integrity are not just ideas we aspire to. They are the bedrock upon which our military is built. They are what make us the world's finest fighting force, a force that stands as a beacon of hope and freedom to nations around the world. Now, as we reflect on these values, I would also like to acknowledge the progress that has been made in the inclusion and recognition of female soldiers in our armed forces. In recent years, strides have been made to ensure women are given the opportunities and the respect they deserve. While there is still work to be done, we're moving in the right direction, which is something to be proud of. In conclusion, as we honor our military, I want to emphasize that sacrifice and personal integrity are not confined to the armed forces. They are values that can and should be embraced by all. Let's incorporate these values into our everyday lives to build a better society that rises above gender, race, and background. By embodying these values, we can shape a future that represents the defining traits of our armed forces. Let us continue to inspire each other and strive towards a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for your attention, and may we never forget the personal integrity and sacrifices of our brave men and women in uniform.
Thank you, Sergeant Foat, for your patriotic and selfless service. I would like to share a quote by former Representative Elizabeth Esty, who said, "Veterans Day is an acknowledgement that those willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for our country and their families deserve our admiration and respect today and every day. Today, our thoughts are with every veteran and active duty service member who has done their part to serve our country and protect our world to make it a better place. We salute each one of you and thank you for your service." Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing as I announce the eras in which you served. World War II. Korea. Vietnam, Gulf War, War in Afghanistan, Iraq War, Global War on Terror, and finally, all veterans of our armed forces. A heartfelt thank you to all who have served and continue to serve our great nation.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family by my side, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause our flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died and gave that right to me, and I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died and gave that right to me, and I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Well, I had to stand up for that one. That was awesome. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we could not be more grateful for your sacrifices and your commitment and your resolve. It is my privilege to acknowledge the folks who assisted with today's Veterans Day ceremonies. Members of the U.S. Marine Corps Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. Hoorah! VFW Post 6024 for the 3-volley rifle salute, which I'll talk about in a minute. Woo! Our Orange County Sheriff's Department Deputy David Saw for playing taps. The city's Marines and Sailors Adoption Committee. Very important people. The High Ground Coffee House, who is our beverage sponsor, which you're going to enjoy some things in just a moment. Tiffany, thank you. Yes. Tiffany Swan, our sign language interpreter. Thank you. And last but not least, our dedicated volunteers and city staff. Thank you. We appreciate you. So we are going to be concluding this ceremony with a 3-volley rifle salute and taps. If you have small children or animals, please cover their ears or be prepared because they're during this loud rifle burst, which are going to be occurring just over here. And then, as I mentioned, the taps will be performed by Orange County Sheriff's Department Deputy David Saw. So I want to thank you all for joining us today and showing your gratitude to our veterans and the active military members. And as soon as our rifle salute is complete, please go ahead and make your way and join us in the Sycamore Room for a buffet-style dessert reception. And we want to God bless Mission Viejo and God bless America. Thank you.